Would you tell us where you got the cash?
I accumulated it.
From your salary?
From whatever investments I had, or salary or income, but it was accumulated.
Did any of this come out of the winnings that Mr. Brennan made at the racetrack?
Very easily it could have.
Could I ask you whether Mr. Brennan is still winning at the track?
I believe he is. I hope we have luck this year. We haven't finished yet.
How much have you turned over to him to gamble?
So far this year, nothing. You kept me too busy.
How much has he won for you? How much has he won for you? None
this moment, I haven't been in the question of the trying to make any money on horse racing this year yet. Been too busy.
But in other words, as I understood it, he had won $64,000 in cash.
Well, that's not hard to believe.
That's up till 57.
Go out to the track.
And now, what about since 57? How much has he won in cash for you since then?
I don't know. I don't have the records.
You have been at the track with him?
Oh, I go maybe once a year, once every 3 years.
But he usually goes.
That's right.
You give him the money?
That's right.
And he bets where he wants it.
I haven't this year.
I see. Well, now you couldn't.
I don't believe I did last year, by the way, either. It was pretty busy here, too.
No, that's right. And it's possible that this $20,000 might have come out of the money that Bert Brennan won for you at the racetrack.
Conceivably.
But you couldn't tell us any other source.
I have no basic figures of income per day, per week, or where it came from. I file my Internal Revenue report. I'm sure they check it.
Could you ask?
Could you tell us? I know of, they haven't contended it.
Could you tell us what? Would you feel that it was an unreasonable question if we asked you how much cash you have now?
I wouldn't answer it.
You wouldn't care to answer it?
No.
You wouldn't care to tell us the sources of it either,
no.
Would you? I've never been completely convinced, Mr. Hoffa, to be frank with you, that Mr. Brennan did win this money at the racetrack.
Why don't you ask him?
I did, and he took the Fifth Amendment.
Well, maybe he has a reason to, Mr. Kennedy.
I think he might have a reason, but you suggested we ask Mr. Brennan. Mr. Brennan then took the Fifth Amendment when he was asked the question, and I've never considered either that was a satisfactory explanation of the cash that you had, or that these several people, such as business agents, who themselves had to borrow money in order to survive, that they loaned you $2,000 in cash without any note and without interest.
Thank you for reviewing the testimony.
Does it suggest anything to you, Mr. Hoffa?
Doesn't suggest anything except the fact that you're trying again, as you have many times in this hearing, to bring a headline about or to embarrass Hoffa. That's all.
No, I'm attempting to give you my reaction as these hearings come to a close as to where this cash might have come from.
And you want to read the record.
I want to make it clear for the record
that
I cannot accept the explanation that this was won in this casual way at the racetrack by Mr. Brennan, in view of the fact that Mr. Brennan takes the Fifth Amendment when he is asked how he won the money.
Then you disprove it.
It's extremely difficult because you do deal in cash.
And I'm going to continue.
And you're going to what? I didn't hear the end.
I'm going to continue, sir.
Well, I think that's an interesting way to conduct your affairs as the head of a large union.
I think it's an American way.
You deal in cash?
Any way you have, as long as it's money that is subject to being able to put into trade and is paid income tax on as gainfully earned.
How much cash do you have now, Mr. Hoffa?
I don't know.
You haven't got any idea how much cash you have?
This is not the Internal Revenue. I refuse to give them a net worth statement, and I do not believe I'm required to give it here.
Do you have $10,000 in cash?
I don't know.
$100,000?
Senator?
Testing, 1, 2, 4, and yes, we are back in the building, folks. How we doing out there in the cryptoverse? Maybe later to be the metaverse. How we doing out there? How many people still chasing that first XRP hit? How many people addicted to those XRP videos? 100,000 speculation. How many times have you watched the same video? People just buy and go. Just buy and go. But people, I just wanted to play that first video of Jimmy Hoffa back in 1963 when he was president of the Teamsters being interviewed by the McClellan Committee. And if you paid attention, people, to the video, you'll realize, look, people, we didn't come back full circle. You see Robert Kennedy putting the hammer to Jimmy Hoffa. No pun intended. RP to Mr. Hoffa. Wherever you ended up. But people, if you were paying attention to the video and if you listen to the video, you will see back then, back in 1963, they were questioning Mr. Hoffa, the president of a labor union, of how much money he had on hand and if it was properly filed. Back then, they were asking how much cash or money he was making back then and what he was doing with his fund. So how does that relate to today, people? So what's the purpose of all DLT and digitally bookkeeping? Everything you do. It's to annotate every single thing, and every which way your money is going to be going. Jimmy Hoffa was talking about surveillance back then, and look, we're full circle. We're going to AI, so we know there's going to be massive labor shortages. So what's going to potentially happen? Labor clashes and conflicts, people. That's the whole purpose of this whole digital transformation. And people, let me put this in here. We're not going to the moon. First, we got to go through the black hole, because everything is slowly but surely is going to be consumed, and whatever makes it on the other side, those are the winners, people. That's how you get the winners. There's going to be a hyper compression coming. People are talking about depression. People, it's going to be a major compression. Like squeezing an orange. Once you squeeze and you get all the juice, whatever juice comes out, that's the winners, people. This is the whole purpose and plan behind the whole digital transformation, because most, if not all, these countries have ran their debts to its limit. And so what do you need? You need starts with a capital R, ends with a T. Yes, you need one of those, people. That's the whole purpose of this. People, cash gave you more freedom than this digital transformation. This was the whole purpose, to get everybody so hooked up on debt, and then you're kind of forced to adopt a new system. And then if you have people who are on the lower levels who's trying to cause disruption, they're just, everything's programmable. They're just gonna cut you out the system. You may have a couple incidents here and there, but people are gonna learn. They're eventually going to. Unfortunately, it's not gonna take much. They're gonna learn a lesson. What happens if you have programmable money and CBDCs? What happens when your social credit is too low? What you gonna do? You're not gonna be able to buy and sell anything. What you gonna do? So people, this is the purpose behind all this Bitcoin, software, CBDCs. People, you're going into a massive hyper compression stage first, which is a black hole. That's the whole purpose of this. I don't know if people are getting the correct information from these YouTube content creators. They're pumping all these new coins. They have you jumping from coin to this coin to this coin to PP to Pepe to Holy Zelda coin. Like, it's just people. It's all just to get you unfocused on the real truth, is that the human element in the labor class is not needed as much, people. But as time gets closer and closer, I will be dropping more great videos on particular cryptos. But this is a quick one from Crypto Rewind. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, because we are going to be dropping some great content. And this is another one from Crypto Rewind. I'll see you later.